So if you guys have seen the previous video on the 69 Z28 Camaro, that is one of the few Camaros that we are going to be working on in this video. So we have a couple carburetors to do some jetting to. We have some other tuning things to do on these Camaros to get them running better. So we want these things running smoothly. We don't want them puttering and pattering, boopacha all over the place.
No 3/4 race cam, boopacha. You want nice and...
So everybody, welcome back to the ZHP Garage. Hope you guys are all doing well today. So we are working on this right now, but this is gonna be towards the end of the video is the Z28. But for now, we got a couple other Camaros that we're gonna check out. Both of them very nice cars. One of them is a legit 69 pace car, and then another one is a legit 68 Z28. So we're gonna look at both of those first, and then we'll get into the 69 Z28 towards the end. So let's get started.
We're back here again at Camaro land. A whole stack of Camaros to work on today. We're gonna start with this fine 68. Got this back from another shop. They put the engine in it. We want to change a couple things, check a couple things. He didn't like the wires, so we're gonna do the wires. And then I found here on this nice front end that just got aligned. I guess they didn't check and make sure everything was tight. So we're gonna make sure all the bushings are tight. We're gonna run new wires. He wants to do different separators. You can see here that whoever put the engine in here put the #1 cylinder, what is it, way back here, which it should be up here, but we're not going to move it. We're just going to change wires. Got the new wires here. We're going black. Got the coil wire. I took the cap and rotor off. Check it out. It's brand new, so it's good shape. Good to go. And I already tightened up the control arms. They were falling off. So we're going to put the new wires on now. So we got the plug wires changed out. We're gonna lift it up here and we're gonna check out the suspension, make sure everything's tight underneath. Then probably gonna go on a little drive. Let's lift it up. This is the ride height of most Camaros. Get that off-road package. So we got it up, checked out the front end. Everything looks good on the front end, looks tight. Got a little bit of an oil leak at the oil pan. Some other shop. The engine's rebuilt, they're fresh, or they did something to it, I don't know, but. So it's gonna go back to them and they're gonna fix a little oil leak. But other than that, it looks really good. This car's still in the process of getting restored. It's not all done yet. So it's been over the course of a couple years. It's been slowly going through it. We're just getting it finished up. So we're gonna lower it down now, start it up, hopefully take it for a little drive. So lower it back on the ground.
What do you think?
Runs good, sounds pretty good. I think we need to go out and lay some rubber.
All right, with all the power invested in this Camaro, let's see how it does. Definitely has more than the Z28. Supply tires?
Yeah. What's left of them now?
Gotta tame the beast within.
Get your heart rate up.
I really like the sound of this one.
That sounds good, huh?
Yeah. It's really healthy.
It's not too loud inside, so you can actually have a conversation until you get on it.
Yeah.
These tires are just going to spin.
Oh yeah. It doesn't take much to make these tires spin.
And you can even feel that it's kind of like you're on skates.
Yeah.
It's just nothing holding the tires.
Oh, man's trying to race here. It is infinity.
I was just trying to bang second gear.
He's like, man, this takes me back.
Yeah. I think the gearing on this was good. You know, it's got plenty of power when you want it, but
yeah.
it's drivable on the freeway.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, it could use an overdrive, but if you're trying to keep something original, this is about what you want.
Yeah. Well, let's roll right along, folks. All right, the 68 Z28's all good for right now. runs really good. Now we're gonna move on to the 69 pace car over here. Let's check this thing out. And yes, this is indeed a true 1969 pace car. It's not a knockoff like other ones that you might have seen. The 1969 pace car had two different manufacturing plants, one in Ohio and one in California. And of the 3,675 1969 pace cars that were supposedly made, this one was built in California, which only made up of 15% of that 3,600. So if you do the math on that, that means roughly 551 1969 pace cars were sold in California. It has the numbers matching 350 in it. The car also comes with the full build sheet, and it actually has a 1970 blue license plate rather than a 1969 black license plate because the car was sold in 1970 new from the dealer. When the current owner bought the car, it was totally torn apart, 100% in pieces. There wasn't anything that was attached to the body. So he did a full restoration to it and got it to the way it looks today.
Next up on the chopping block here is a good old 69 Camaro pace car. We're gonna check it out, same thing. It's got some drivability, some running issues. All these cars sit so much, so this needs to be checked out. So we're gonna pull the plug. It looks like it's been doing some coughing back, so it looks like it's running pretty rich. Carburetor's all blacked up, so I wanna see how rich it is. Might jet it. We'll see what kind of time we got. But we're gonna pull a plug, probably change them and just check the fluids. And
careful with pulling the plug, man.
Yeah, we're gonna check, look at the spark plugs. So let's get started. Let's do this. Pull a couple out.
A few moments later.
Definitely running rich. We're all blacked out. A lot of gas going on here. So after looking at the spark plug, I decided to jet it down. So I'm gonna take the top off here and get to the main jets in this fine deal. So I'm gonna take the fuel line off and the top off. I got some rags here to catch dribbling fuel. Let's check it out, see what we're working with. Unscrewing the top here. Top of the carburetor. I gotta get to the jet. Gotta find the jets. We're on an adventure hunt. Give me a comment. Where the jet's at? Show me where the jets are at. What is a carburetor jet? Is that what they lengthen your injector pulse millisecond timing? I'm working on my volumetric efficiency right now, sir. It's stoichiometric, 14.7 to 1. No? Just jetting on, working on a carburetor. Nothing to see here. Here, come over here with that light. Gotta take the choke rod off here. Got a little clip hiding right here. Right here. Oh, it's right there. No clip. So I had to loosen up the choke a little bit, slide it off to get the rod off here so I can take the top off, but we're gonna pop the top off now. You gotta watch the gasket, because part of it wants to stay, part of it wants to go. Yeah, cute little guy. Set that right here a minute. Now I need a flat-bladed screwdriver to take our jets out. See what size are in there. It's like trying to do something under the ocean. All distorted under the water, you can't see what you're doing. So we got 67s. We're not gonna get crazy with it. We'll go down 2 sizes. So we got our little master kit here. Oh man, getting to the bottom of the spectrum. So we got a couple 65s. You see this is all nice and dirty. I loaned it to my good friend one time that races circle track, obviously in the dirt. So be careful what you loan your stuff to. So we got our jet here. We got some 65s. We gotta make sure to blow them out here, get all the dirt out of them.
Blown out good?
Blown out good, all cleaned up. So we're gonna install our 65s in the front. We're gonna check the rears after. You kinda wanna keep like an 8 to 10 split on your jetting, front to rear. So you want the back to be around a 75 kind of deal, depending on how you're driving, what your performance levels are. So we got the front ones installed. Let's see what size is in the back. So we got 73s. So we have 8 split, right? Those in the front. 75? 67?
You went to 65.
Oh, so that's the 12 split. 60, what was it? 60 what?
67. That's 73?
Oh, 6. Yeah, to have a short split then.
You guys need a slide rule?
We got a pair of 71s. We'll put 71s in it. Get that dirt out of there.
Cleaned out?
All cleaned out, brand new.
Want to party?
Gosh, I want you to quit doing that so I can find this hole. Every time I think I got it, I got a shadow. I'm like, what? And I look, and it's gone again. Check this out. This might help run drivability also. I just saw this line here. Got a little vacuum leak back here. I have to take care of that. It's not helping the drivability. So now I'm gonna install the top of the carburetor. We got it all jetted front and rear. Just gotta be careful of our floats. They don't get all beat up going back in. Put our little gasket on for our air cleaner after the fact. And then we just need to line up our little rod here for our choke. That's why we took our electric choke back a little bit to get that slid out of there. So we'll slide this back in here, get our floats in, line it up with our stud. We got our little clip put back in on our choke, electric choke here, little clips in there. Got our top snug down, so now we're gonna put our fuel line back on. You don't put Teflon on a flared line either. No Teflon. We're not gonna pick it all off. That's bad. That's not necessary. Just gonna get in there and plug up your needle and seat. Then you're gonna put you're gonna put clotheslines on your hard line or something, try to get it to quit vapor locking or some old school thing. So we got our spark plugs so we have all of our spark plugs. Oh my God. So we changed all the spark plugs in here, and we took care of the vacuum leak that was back in the back of the intake manifold. We jetted it as you saw. So now we're gonna start it up, let it warm up, and we'll adjust the float level and the idle circuits. So we'll let it warm up, get the temperature. So we're gonna start it up now. Wait a second, let it warm up.
All right, so we just got the pace car all adjusted. We're gonna see how it drives now that we jetted it down. How does it seem so far, Master Mechanic?
Nice. Just do a little roll in.
It's definitely a pace car. You ain't going nowhere that fast.
Pace yourself. It's not 100% yet. It's a little bit better. It might have a little ignition problem or something. Have to see. Let's get on it one more time. Or I mean, cruise down the road one more time. This thing's got a pull though when you get on it. Tries to drive to the right.
Master Mechanic says we're not in 69 anymore and we stand out. I don't know.
An orange pace car.
I'm not Tupac, so I don't know if it's all eyes on me or what. Something's still off about the pace car that we got to find out.
Almost think it's a little rich. It seems like when the secondaries come on, I think it's a little much. I think this carburetor is just a little 600 though.
There's definitely a few things going on with it.
Something wrong with the suspension. It's got a little pull. I think it's still a little rich. Probably check a plug.
Remember, you don't have to pull the plug. You just have to check the plug. That's a cute little horn.
Like you're playing Mario Kart. Throw a green shell.
Now we're gonna jet another carburetor on the Camaro from the previous video, the Z28.
DZ 302.
Big boy stuff.
In 69. Now it's like Kia Sophia.
Yeah, now it's like a STI or something.
All right, we got the top dog in here now. Cat's meow. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna pull a plug. I think this thing's running stupid rich. Last time we were here, we pretty much turned the idle screws all the way in just to get it to idle normal. So we're gonna check, see how rich it is. And it's got a little coolant leak going on over here. Looks like from the thermostat housing. So we're gonna put a new thermostat in it and gasket. So we're gonna start with checking the plug though. Get the carburetor jetted before we get it started and it's all hot. So we'll take care of that and then we'll probably change oil on it. Do a little drive maybe. See how much better it runs. Gotta check and see how much better it runs. So let's get one of these plugs out here and see what it looks like. Well, it doesn't look too bad on the electrode, but you can see that it's all black around it, but it might just have cleaned up because I leaned out the idle so much. We haven't really driven it after leaning out the idle circuits, but take the bolt off and see what size is in there and see if it makes sense because I think this carburetor is like a 750 and it is just a 302. As amazing and much power as it does, you know, make. 750 is pretty big carburetor for 302. So we'll see what jetting size is in it. Still might take it down a little bit, but I think it's just because it cleaned up because of the idle. We've just been idling around in the shop here, so put a fresh set of plugs in it, and then fix other stuff and go for a drive, and then we'll check the plug again afterwards. So now we got all the spark plugs changed. The air cleaner off here, get to the carburetor. We'll get this thing jetted, see what's in it. Probably gonna take it down 2 sizes, like I did on the last on the pace car. Looks like we got a little bit of a fuel leak at the accelerator pump here, so I'm probably gonna put a new accelerator. I got a carburetor rebuild kit for any of these gaskets. I don't know what kind of shape these gaskets are in at the bowl and the metering block. So this guy here looks like it's leaking. I don't know if it's the gaskets on the screws. I think I'll just go ahead and leave the body on here. I'm gonna pull the bowls off. So I'll put some towels underneath here to catch all the fuel and try to catch the fuel that's gonna run out of the bowl here. And make a cool little cup with a funnel on it. You can put down here and catch the fuel coming out of it. It's kind of harder on the lower intakes. It's easier on the taller aftermarkets, but you can use like an aerosol lid or something. I'm gonna try to cram one in here. I'll get this PCV valve out of the way, and I can try to put an aerosol cap in here, catch the fuel, because this whole bowl is full of fuel. So I don't want it to just run over the intakes. I'll try to catch it as it comes out. I'll do the lower one first. So I got me a little paint cap. Try to get it down in here and catch the fuel coming out of this lower. I'm gonna lose some because by the time I get the screw out, it's already gonna start leaking, but we'll try to get the majority of it. Oh man, somebody got crazy on these. Oh, man, oh man, maybe we weren't gonna take this apart. Holy cow. Somebody thought this carburetor was gonna go somewhere. Oh, that one's loose. Probably try to tighten it down to get it to quit leaking instead of putting a gasket in there. Oh, it's not good. Oh, we might have got it. Gotta be quick now. See if we can catch most of it. Well, I got the majority of it at least. That's what the rags are there for. It's gonna be a messy job for sure.
Thirsty? You can have a drink now?
No beverages, no shots. It's the wrong kind of gasoline. Yeah, see how it has a gasket on here? Oh, that one's stuck on there. That could have been where it's leaking out here, but it almost looks like the accelerator. But we're gonna put new gaskets on the screws here. Super dirty jets. Let's pull some out and see if we can see what number it is. We got here 60. Where's that light at? Hit that light. Oh, wrong place. It's like a 68. We're gonna replace it. We're gonna put a new one in there. Don't tell. We're gonna be non-numbers matching. Don't say anything. Get this crusty gasket off of here. Get this thing sealed up. We're gonna drop it down 2 sizes. We got 68s. We'll go down. We're gonna go 66. 66 is a good one, man. Fresh, all full of dirt. This full.
We're gonna get calls now.
Make sure we got 2 the same. You can't put those jets in there. It's gonna plug up the whole entire system. All de-dirted. Put in our jets. You don't need to get crazy on these things. It's not holding back the world. Just get them in there and give them a little snug down. And then as you remember, we took our power valve out. We put a new power valve in it. Kind of limited on options. We just have the one that came in the kit. Got our new gasket here. This is a metering block to bowl. And then we have our gasket for the metering block. We'll just match it up to the old one here. And we're gonna get our power valve. So the number 85 pretty much means that this is gonna open it up at 8.5 inches of vacuum. So you don't want it to open at idle. So we have more than 8.5 inches of vacuum, so it's not gonna open at idle. So these are both the same. So we're gonna run this guy. All right, so we got our new gasket on our power valve. I'm just gonna run this guy in. You don't get crazy on this either. Snug it down. So we got all of our gaskets removed from the bowl. It's stuck on, and the one that stuck onto the bolt, so they're all gone. Snug down our jets, our power valve, got our new gaskets on here. So we're gonna put it on the bowl onto the metering block. And the only thing you gotta watch coming back together is your accelerator pump rod. Gotta get your linkage here up and then get the little accelerator underneath it. We got our fuel line over here, kinda in the way because it's a hard line. Gotta get this up, sneak this in here. This fuel line out of the way in a minute. Get it all flat, back into position. And I already put the new gaskets on the bolts. Those are you guys. And I'm gonna leave the fuel line off because I'm gonna jet down the rear, because this one has a rear metering block also. Normally, like the 3310s, the vacuum secondaries, just have that little plate in the back. There's no jets, but this one actually has a metering block, so we're gonna jet the back. So we're just gonna snug down the front here. We're not gonna get crazy on this thing. Wanna kind of make sure that it's all, it has the dowels, but just wanna make sure that it's all lined up and everybody's happy. And I like to go around in a circular motion, so we'll snug it down, and then we'll go around, make sure they're all pulling down even. And once we have them down even, I just give them a little bit over snug. Nothing crazy here. This is just fuel sitting. It's not, no pressure, nothing on it. It's gonna kind of squish the gaskets down, so I like to go around them a couple times, make sure that it's actually, you know, consistent torqued down. Now we got the front bolt on, we're gonna do the same to the rear. So we left our fuel line off, so nothing's gonna bother us. So we got some extra quadrupled up on their towels here, try to absorb the fuel. All right, we got it out. Probably would've been easier to pull the carburetor off, but at this point, we're at the point of no return. So let's see what jets we got in the back of this thing. Looks like a 76. What's that? We got an 8 split. Probably keep it that way. So we'll just go down 2 in the back also. So installing the metering block and bolt on a vacuum secondaries is easier because you don't have to line up the accelerator pump. So you can just put it on. So we had to reuse the metering block gasket because our kit is for the vacuum secondary that doesn't have a metering block. It just has a plate, so it didn't have the right gasket. So we had to reuse that, but it's in good shape. But we got the new bowl gasket in here, got our new jets, a new power valve. So now we're gonna put it all back together. So now we got both of our bowls back on it. Now we can put a fuel line back on it and do the same thing. 2 wrenches, I'll tighten it back up. And then once it's running, we'll double check the flow level. Got it all back together. We changed the thermostat housing gasket, got it filled up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it now. Got the car up in the air doing an oil change. Now's a good time. You can check it out. We'll pan underneath it and you can see how clean this thing is. Like brand new. It runs a lot better now. We jetted it down 2 sizes, but I think the carburetor is like borderline too big. It needs probably 1 or 2 more, but we're gonna get at the bottom end of it's gonna get to a point that you can't really jet it anymore. So we're gonna leave it to where it is right now. It runs pretty good.
And obviously we're not changing the carburetor, so.
Yeah, for sure. We're for sure not changing the carburetor. It's a factory DZ stamped, numbers matching Gucci carburetor, so. Viewers at home.
All right, we're gonna give it a little bit of a spin around the block. I know it sounds good. Does it sound good?
Sounds good. Definitely a little engine. A little engine that could. That was 9,500. Kidding, I'm kidding. 2,500. School zone.
I swear we were doing 25. I swear. Runs good for being a factory DZ302 small block.
So it's a little engine for sure. It runs good. It's a good time.
It's definitely a good time for sure.
Yeah, get it in the RPMs to get it to start making good power, but it makes good power though.
All right, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the video on the 3 Camaros, the 3 Musketeers. The 68 Z28 got some plug wires, as you saw in the beginning of the video. It went from red to black, so it fits a little bit better with the black. It looks a little more stock, a little more, you know, nostalgic. Looks pretty good. And the pace car got some jets, got a little bit of a tune-up, went for a test drive. It still needs a little bit more work. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it all. Z28 is running really good now. The thing's running like it was from the factory. Who knows what we got to do next? That's why you gotta stay tuned. You gotta hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment for which Camaro was your favorite. So I'll see you guys on the next video.